In a global context, the wine industry continues to grow, with billions of bottles of wine produced and consumed each year. According to the International Organization of Vine and Wine, OIV, in a recent year, over 24 billion litres of wine were produced worldwide, meeting the demands of millions of wine enthusiasts from Europe and the Americas to Asia. With this substantial annual consumption, the process of wine production is not only an industrial activity, but also an art form, where the blend of science and tradition creates unique bottles of wine. Let's delve into the key steps in the wine production process to understand how winemakers transform fresh grape clusters into the exquisite products that grace our tables. The grape harvesting process is the first and one of the most crucial stages in wine production. Each harvest season typically takes place in the fall when the grape clusters are ripe and have reached the optimal levels of sugar and acidity. Depending on the scale and style of production, grapes can be harvested by hand or by machine. Hand harvesting is often done in smaller vineyards or where the terrain is difficult to access, allowing for careful selection of each grape cluster to maintain the highest quality. On the other hand, machine harvesting increases speed and efficiency and is typically used in larger vineyards or in large-scale industrial wine production facilities. The timing of the harvest is key as it determines the flavor and structure of the resulting wine. If grapes are harvested too early, the wine might lack the required sweetness and structure. If harvested too late, the grapes might be overripe, diminishing the quality of the wine. After harvesting, the grapes are taken to the next stage of production, ensuring that each cluster retains its freshness and quality to produce exceptional bottles of wine. The process of crushing and destemming is one of the critical stages in wine production where fresh grapes are transformed into juice, marking the beginning of fermentation. After the grapes are harvested and transported to the winery, they are sent through a grape crusher and destemmer machine. A grape crusher typically has multiple rollers to gently crush the grape clusters, extracting the juice while keeping the grape skins and stems intact. The destemmer removes stems, leaves, and other unwanted material, leaving only pure grape juice and pulp. For white wine, the grape juice is separated from the skins and seeds almost immediately to maintain a light color and delicate flavor. For red wine, the skins are kept in the fermentation process to give the wine its color and structure. This process requires careful control to ensure that the skins and seeds are not overcrushed, preventing excess bitterness in the wine. After crushing and destemming, the grape juice and solid parts are separated, ready for the next stages like fermentation and pressing. This foundational step is key to producing high-quality wine, where the balance between technique and craftsmanship plays a crucial role. Fermentation is a crucial stage in the winemaking process, where grape juice transforms into wine under the action of yeast. After crushing and destemming, the grape juice, also known as must, is transferred to fermentation vessels, which can be stainless steel tanks, wooden barrels, or other containers, depending on the winemaker's preference and the style of wine being produced. Yeast, naturally present on grape skins or added by winemakers, consumes the sugars present in the grape juice and converts them into alcohol and carbon dioxide through a process known as alcoholic fermentation. This chemical reaction generates heat, causing the fermentation vessel to warm up. During fermentation, winemakers carefully monitor factors such as temperature, sugar levels, and yeast activity to ensure optimal conditions for the yeast to thrive. The duration of fermentation can vary depending on factors such as grape variety, desired wine style, and winemaker preference, but it typically lasts from several days to a few weeks. Throughout the fermentation process, the grape juice undergoes significant changes in flavor, aroma, and texture. As sugars are converted into alcohol, the wine's sweetness decreases, while its alcohol content increases. Additionally, the interaction between yeast and grape compounds contributes to the development of various aromatic compounds and flavors characteristic of the final wine. Once fermentation is complete, the young wine is usually separated from the solids, such as grape skins and seeds, through a process called racking. The wine may then undergo further aging, clarification, and blending before being bottled and eventually enjoyed by wine enthusiasts around the world. Fermentation is a key step that shapes the character and quality of the final wine, highlighting the skill and expertise of the winemaker in crafting a product that captures the essence of the grapes and the terroir. After the fermentation process concludes, the solids, skins, seeds, pulp are separated from the wine. For red wine, this step occurs after fermentation, while for white wine, it typically happens before fermentation. Following pressing, the wine is transferred to storage tanks for maturation, clarification, and stabilization before bottling. The solids remaining after pressing, or pomace, are often discarded or repurposed for other uses, such as composting or distillation. The next step after pressing is the aging process, where the wine is transferred into oak barrels or stainless steel tanks to mature and develop its flavour. During this time, the wine is aged under controlled temperature and humidity conditions, allowing for continued chemical reactions to occur and creating richness and complexity in the wine's flavour. The aging period can range from several months to many years, depending on the type of wine and the style of the producer. After the aging stage, the wine is typically filtered and clarified before being bottled to produce the final product. After bottling, some types of wine require time to stabilize and develop additional flavors. This process, known as bottle aging, can range from several months to several years, depending on the type of wine and production style. During this period, the wine continues to interact with oxygen from the air through the bottle's cork and with compounds in the bottle, resulting in complex flavor and structure development. Once the wine has reached sufficient stability and flavor development, it is distributed to retailers, restaurants, and consumers. Wine producers typically ensure that their products meet quality and safety standards before they are sent to market. Careful packaging and labeling are crucial to protect the quality and brand of the wine as it reaches the hands of the end consumers.